So on my way back home from having a work trip in Quebec. How are you doing today, RJ?
I'm doing good, Curtis. How about you?
Good, thanks.
So, if you're new out here, if you're new here, folks, welcome. Pull up a chair. We're two dads who are, who've been through it. We've seen it, and we're still trying to survive it, right? I think Curtis, we've lost your signal.
How about now?
Yeah, there we go.
Strange. It says I'm on 5G. All right, carry on.
All right, so yeah, like I said, we've been through it, right? We've been trying to learn how to be good parents, even at the different stages we're at.
Do you hear me?
Yep, I've got you.
All right. Do you hear the question?
No, I didn't hear anything after I spoke.
Oh, so what the question is how to teach your kids accountability and what the consequences are.
So yeah, that is a question. Yeah, and of course we have a lot to say on that topic, right?
Yep, we sure do, RJ. Yep, we do.
No, we got a bad signal, Curtis.
How's that?
Yep.
Yeah, it's something to do when I'm switching the tabs. Do we carry on?
It's up to you. I mean, we keep cutting out, but
Well,
I mean, show must go on, right? So.
Yeah, keep moving forward. Do your next one. Do the next comment.
So before we get into the how, folks, I want to give some context because Curtis and I are coming from completely different places in the parenting journey, right? My kids, Armanda and Josh, they're grown. They're both in their early 30s. They're out in the world living their lives, making their own decisions. And I'll tell you, watching your adult kids navigate life's consequences, that's a final exam for everything you've tried to teach them.
That was pretty heavy stuff, RJ. So how did you do that when you got coming up?
You know what? Honestly, if I had to grade myself, I think I did pretty well. Not perfect. I didn't get an A+ or anything, but there's doing it, right? But I can see the threads of things we put together. I can see moments where the did too much with the helicopter parenting, and they had learned things the harder. They learned things the harder way because I protected them from it early on in their life, right?
Right on, RJ. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the lessons your kids learned over the younger years help them out in their older, grown-up years, right?
For sure, for sure. The lessons they get delayed, and then they even get more expensive, right? Emotionally, financially, relationally. The earlier they learn, the cheaper the tuition. The less it's going to cost them.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So for myself, I have an 11-year-old, and I'm like right in the middle of it right now.
Okay? Yeah.
So, any advice for parents like me out there? Would you say?
Between years they can be difficult, right? It's a whole season all on its own, right? So.
That's funny because I was talking to another parent when I was out here working, and he has older kids as well, and he said the same thing. From 11 to about 16 is the hardest because they're changing, and their attitude towards you kind of sucks as a dad, as a girl, right? But he said he needs to go over 20. He said like it's gonna be better. He's like just be patient with them, and eventually they'll come back and talk to you again. Which I thought was kind of cool. That's good advice, right?
They talk about the terrible twos, right? And don't get me wrong, the early stage, it's when you're trying to teach them the most, but they're willing to learn. From 11 to 16, like your friend said, they think they know it all and they have nothing left to learn from you. But be patient with them. If you can get through those years, the adult years, really, they respect you. You have a better relationship with them as long as you can maintain decorum during those tween years. So,
What's that?
yeah. So, no, we're talking about the development, right? So,
Yeah. So she's testing boundaries with me right now as well. So I find sometimes you want to say something, but you don't want to like give them the opinion that they can't say anything. So you kind of like bite your tongue a little bit sometimes and let them do what they need to do. I find.
yeah. And so we'll move on to the next subject. So there are some natural consequences, right? One of those natural consequences is simply what happens as a direct result of a child's choice, right? Without a parent stepping in to engineer it, right? Reality does the teaching, not you as a parent.
Yeah, right. So she leaves the water bottle at school. What do you think I should tell her?
Well, shit, listen, she's going to get thirsty,
Yeah.
right? Simple consequences.
Yep. That's right. Yeah, because then she'll have to wait till
We lost you again. We'll be patient here.
the last minute. It's like, frig, it's Sunday night. It's like, come on, you got to get this done. It's due. It's like, oh, dude, it is later.
Yeah. And then the more you stay up late, stress out turns into something that the work that she's not proud of, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's crazy how even as adults, we think like that too, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's the training we've been through, right?
Being a dad, you try to fix everything, but you just gotta let them learn at the same time, right?
Without a doubt, right? And then so here's a question I had to ask myself when Armanda and Josh were young. Am I helping them or am I helping myself to feel better about it?
Yeah, that's pretty well punch in the gut there, isn't it? When you have that question.
Absolutely. And it's supposed to be, right? Because sometimes, a lot of times, when we rescue our kids, it's as much about our own anxiety as it is about their well being.
Learn how to sit with their own discomfort to help them grow. You agree?
Exactly. Right. It's patience, right? You don't get it, you don't nail it the first time, right? I didn't. But every time you stay the course, it gets a little easier, right? And your kids get a little stronger. I think we lost you again there, Curtis.
I was just saying that the natural consequences and then the logical consequences, you got to blend the two so that as a parent you can be on their side and they know that you're on their side. So when they make decisions, they know it could be the right decision instead of like, oh, my dad's going to yell at me or mom's going to yell at me for doing this thing. And they realize that in their own self that, hey, I'm doing the right thing, you know?
Yep. Good call on that one, right? Consequences are what life hands them with no parental involvement, right? Logical consequences are what you set up intentionally, right? But they have to make sense because they have to be directly connected to their behavior.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, but sometimes my daughter will leave her bike on the front lawn. Like, oh, what are you doing? Someone's going to steal that thing, right? I just want to yell at her to go pick up her bike and say, hey, where's your bike? It's like, oh, it's on the front lawn. It's like, do you think you should put it away just so no one takes it? And that, I found that has worked more effective than me just like, get your freaking bike off the lawn and say, hey, do you think you should move your bike just in case someone steals it? Because then now she'll think twice, like, oh, yeah, I better move my bike just in case someone decides to take my bike. Because someone actually did that once. Some kid thought it was their bike because there's like several kids in our neighborhood and they all have similar bikes. So one kid's like walking around, like, oh, that's my bike. He's like, no, it's not. My daughter's name's on the bike because we went later to go look for it, and we saw, hey, that's my kid's bike. It's like, well, how do you know?
Yeah.
And then, so like, oh, sorry, mine's over there, you know.
But you still got involved there, right? So, and that's what we're talking about, natural consequences. So imagine she left the bike out, right?
Yep.
What happens after that? Well, she may not have a bike there when she goes in the morning. That's the natural consequence.
True. Yeah, that's right.
both are valid, right? The key is that the consequence has to fit, right? It can't feel random or punitive. It has to make sense to the kid on some level, even if they hate it.
Yeah, that does make sense, RJ. I guess sometimes as parents, we just gotta let things be instead of trying to be controlling. Like earlier you said about the helicopter parent. Sometimes we get in that mode and it's like, oh crap, why am I doing this?
It's tough as a parent because we want our children. We don't want them to have difficulties. We don't realize that we're creating because they're not learning.
That's fair. So, what practical tools would you say would help out parents out there?
So, step expectations in advance. Have a calm conversation about what happens next, not in the heat of the moment, nor after they've already messed up, before it happens.
That's right, RJ. So just sit down and ask them questions like, what do you think would happen if you didn't charge your phone overnight and you had to go to school in the morning? Like, what would happen if you didn't put your phone on the charger, right? So then in the morning they have no power. Like, oh crap! How am I supposed to take my phone?
Right.
And
you'll be shocked. Stricter than any center.
What's that?
I said, kids, let them choose. Getting some feedback that's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's on your end.
I don't know. I'm in my car, so.
I just value anyways, I'm saying consequences you would have offered them.
Yep. Okay, cool. So what do you think about punishment of kids? Like, do you think that's part of the consequences for them or not?
Look, that's the consequences we want to take it as parents. But again, we want them to learn from their experience. So, discipline is not going to learn from failures. Last episodes, learn from that failure is honest.
Right. That's interesting, RJ. So, tell us about step 2. What's that all about?
Step 2 is what we call the empathy session. You can acknowledge the feeling, So, Curtis, can you walk real examples?
An example would be, my daughter lost her phone one time because she was on YouTube for too long. So we decided to take it off, right? So then, of course, she has a fit about it. Like, it's like the worst thing in the world, right? Taking YouTube away from kids these days. So it's kind of like, remember we had TV and we got lost with TV privileges as kids? Same idea as nowadays,
Yep.
I find.
Yep.
So I guess usually you just say, hey, I'm sorry we got to do this, but as far as like, you're on too long, now you're getting angry. But I always find that once you let them have a few minutes alone, that usually they calm down and they realize like, yeah, I was being angry over nothing. And they kind of say, okay, fine. But I just find that with the YouTube stuff, there's like too much stimulation and they get in a mode of like this angry kid. I don't know, you ask him anything like, Have you ever had that experience?
Well, and then you give them the chance. You lost your screen time. You were distracted. Your homework done, and you get your screen time. Right? So you set up a consequence.
That's good. So you have like a warm and disciplined combo, which makes it a lot easier, right?
Right.
Good. Awesome.
And this is where a lot of empathy back it down. It does not your child's pain and still not remove the consequence.
Yeah, that's cool, RJ. Because you're removing the the emotional pressure of it.
Yeah.
part of it. So if you're showing empathy, then they realize that they can use their emotions to be more understanding of their situation, so that later in the future, and they learn how to control their emotions better, so they're not like angry or look like a crazy person. I guess, right?
And that leads us to learn this one debrief after the storm has passed. You there with me, Curtis?
I've lost my spot. So what was the question again for step 3?
So step 3, debrief after the storm. And the key there is after, right?
Yep.
When they're upset, the learning center basically they cannot process themselves in the middle of emotion. An hour a day to come down and get back to like that anger, frustration, and that conversation.
Right. So let them calm down for a little bit, and then be able to get back to them after, right? So they're back online emotionally.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Do you have any examples of that happening to you with your kids when they were younger?
Oh, all the time. Especially my daughter was the type you could hold her. If we did like that, she took offense against her or something. But so you have to wait. Sometimes before we can get back and have a conversation with her, but then you ask things like, "Hey, what happened when we did this? How did that make you feel? Or what do you think you'll do differently next time?" So we
Right on. Cool. So let's go to the rapid fire section there, RJ.
sure.
And just let's do some real. So some natural consequences and then some logical ones. Can you go through that quickly?
Okay, sure.
So the kid refused to eat dinner, but yet they still snack. What would you say about that?
Natural consequence. They're hungry.
Right on. So what about if a kid forgets their lunch?
Look, natural consequence. They have a rough afternoon. Do not school.
Yeah, hopefully. Or they could bum food up other kids. Who knows, right? Like how creative your kid is, right?
Absolutely, but if you're not catering to their or their value all through.
Yep, that's right. Cool. That's a good one. So what about you think the kids stay up too late at night and they're like super tired and grumpy in the morning?
Yeah. Consequences. We're exhausted. No sleeping in, right?
Yep.
They live in it. Now here's a lot. The phone charges room like my so that they don't have it.
Right on. Cool. So you kind of want to coach your kids, not fix everything. Like, you know what I mean? What do you think about that? Being a coach for your kid instead.
Absolutely. A natural consequence. They don't fix it. Full stop. Exception.
Cool. So do you think exceptions is the rule on that? Like, do you make exceptions for the kids, or you just like be disciplined with them?
You have to be disciplined. The hardest part, you have to be disciplined to yourself.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, for sure. Because you gotta be disciplined enough to give them the consequences and let them learn on their own instead of trying to fix it, right? Which is great advice, I think. Yeah. All right. Let's sum it up then, there, RJ, in a quick few minutes here.
Yep. So, Curtis, give me your takeaway from today.
Say again, RJ.
Give me your biggest takeaway.
I think self-discipline for ourselves, it will help our children be that way. You guys show empathy at certain times, like maybe after the fact that they realize they've done something wrong. It's like, oh, I forgot my phone or didn't take my lunch. And the initial part is like, well, what do you think you should do next time? That's like an empathy sort of idea to me. And then they find the reasoning is like, oh, I probably should pack my lunch in my bag when I first wake up, when I put my clothes on to go to school or brush my teeth, that sort of routine things. So they add things to the routine. Then by doing the thing of them learning on their own, it gives them the initiatives like, hey, I need to do this, instead of like you nagging them. It's like, oh, my dad's yelling at me again. Bleh. Who wants to hear that, right? So I think let them learn on their own from doing things wrong or right. Perhaps you do the right thing, and then they say, hey, I did this right. I can make this happen, right? So I think it's great.
I love that. That's exactly what I'm saying. I say this works. The times I help them, the times I let them sit in a consequence, the times I didn't fix it for them, I can see the results of that. Amanda, mistakes. Joshua, these things happen. But the right now feels being or help, letting their kids fall, be something hard. We're building something.
Perfect, RJ. Thanks for that. Let's sum this up now. Just want to thank everybody who is here today on watching and listening. Thank you very much for being here. I'm doing it live on the road, but I actually parked. I'm safe. If you found this episode awesome and you want to share with our parent, please do so, because there's other parents that may need this advice. Please let them know. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And of course, ring that bell so when we go live, you are notified. Perfect. And if you're on Facebook, please leave a comment and let us know what you think. Or if you have any questions, go to the Facebook page, the Parent Support Circle on Facebook, and leave a question or comments there as well, please.
Yeah, because this was a good one, right? From a comment. Keep them coming.
I'm Curtis, and don't forget, you are doing an awesome job. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you next.